Okay, so geopolitical codes. What is a geopolitical code? It's the manner in which a country orientates itself toward the world, or it can be defined as assumptions about a country's interest around the world, potential threats, and feasible responses. In other words, you are trying to analyze how a country may react in a specific event and what is the profile of that country when it comes to some geopolitical issues. There are 5 calculations of geopolitical codes. And well, you can also say that you can analyze other geopolitical actors as well. For example, a nation, and in some other category, the non-legitimate organizations such as a terrorist organization. So these 5 calculations can help you analyze the situation of the country in a more deep way. The first calculation is to analyze who are our current and potential allies. These are the countries or non-state actors that can become your allies or that already are your allies in a specific event, situation, conflict, or war. The second geopolitical calculation is, or geopolitical code, is who are our current and potential enemies. So you do the same that you did with the first one, but the only difference is that now you're analyzing who are those enemies. Number 3, it refers to how to maintain and to nurture the relationship you have with potential allies. In other words, is there any interest in common? Is there anything you can provide to that other ally that can make back you up in case of a conflict? Number 4, how can we counter our current enemies and emerging threats? In other words, what are those strategies and what are those policies and sometimes even actions that you need to carry out in order to keep your enemies not as close, right? And at the last, the 5th geopolitical code, it means how do we justify the 4 calculations above to our public and to the global community. And this refers and has a lot to do with media. So if you have a country, I don't know, such as Yemen, that is trying to justify what they do in their fight against the Houthis and Al Qaeda, to mention some of these issues, you have to provide arguments that could help the media and the public opinion to support your actions, because if not, you're going to be creating other enemies. So these are the 5 geopolitical codes, and as I said at the beginning, it helps you have a profile of a country or other geopolitical actor when it comes to issues or international events or even conflicts and wars. I can summarize that every country has a geopolitical code. For many countries, the main concern is about their immediate neighbors because they share borders and ideologies can be spread or even conflicts and war. So they need to analyze if they are friends with their neighbors or enemies. Or examples such as the increased trade or is an imminent invasion the issue. So they analyze these sort of things. All of this you can trace it back to the Cold War, which is where critical geopolitics was also born. And in an example of how to trace the Soviet Union enemies or friends within Africa, the Caribbean, the Middle East, and Asia. So in this way, you can go back and analyze an example such as the Cold War using geopolitical codes, but you can also use geopolitical codes for critical geopolitics, which would mean that you will focus now on more interdependent aspects that incorporate not only states but non-state actors.